with the cornerback position, do you think that they're gonna want to extend Charvarius Ward, or do you think that they might let him walk? Because I think he's gonna be expensive. More expensive than when they got him, at least. Not just because like the cap goes up, but because he's performed better.
That's a great question. It's the first time I've heard it, and you're kind of right. Like the numbers have gone up for cornerback play.
Yeah.
He's made the Pro Bowl.
He outperformed like where he was at when they drafted for him, or traded for him.
Man, they could actually look to see what. But the thing is with corner is there's only 3 corners that should be going in the first round. And some people argue Ennis Rakestraw from Missouri. I only see 3. I see Kool-Aid McKinstry, Quincy Mitchell, and I believe Terrion Arnold. A lot of people are high on Nate Wiggins, guys like Cooper DeJean, who I see as a safety. But a lot of people are higher on some other corners, but I just don't see those guys going in the first round. If you decide to go corner at 31, you could, I guess, not necessarily reach, because if you're taking a guy who's projected to go 40 and the top 40 or at 41, when you take him at 31, I don't think it's a reach because you're not having to trade back up to get someone. So, hey, shout out to Good Company Cleaners LLC. Ashley needs a sponsor for the show. Hit her up in on Twitter. Hit her up on social media. She needs a sponsor for the show. Get an advertisement on this show for Ashley, so she can get an advertisement. So for me, there's a lot of things they could do. Like I truly think if they do go corner, I don't think it would be to replace Charvarius Wards. I think you should extend them. I really think Charvarius Wards in the corner you should extend.
I think that's a good. I just don't. I have a question. Like with the way that these, because isn't his contract up at the end of next year? Is that wrong?
I believe it is.
So are they able to like? Can he say I want to test free agency, or if they try to extend, like they extend him next, like is next year he's a free agent, or they can try to extend him before he hits free agency? Because I'm afraid that he would get a higher bidder somewhere else, potentially. Not because the 49ers don't want him, but just because they are paying so many guys. And I do think he's like kind of played himself into a higher bracket,
I think the only issue, though, is they may view his age being an issue because corners at around that 30 range, they start to drop off.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
He is 29 this year. 29.
Wow. I don't know why I was 27.
I believe he has I thought he was 27 too. He's 28. Going to be 29 in a few days, in like 30 days. But for him, I believe he has a 12.9. I'm not too sure. I have to ask Rohan how the dead cap works in terms of on a void year, because he 2025 to 2026 years, it voids automatically on the 5th day of the 2025 season. So when you restructure someone, or when you extend them, for example, when they signed him, I believe they had a couple of void years. So it's to spread the signing bonus and the guarantees across a couple of seasons. So I believe he has $2 million on void. I could be wrong. I have to ask Rohan how that works. Rohan knows the cap numbers better than me.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have dead cap. So it's do you want to have dead cap on your corner, or do you want to roll him, extend him, where you don't have a higher dead cap? So I don't know how that's gonna work.
And I think right now Ward is their only true. I think Demo's done good, but I definitely, you know what I mean. I feel like if they can keep Ward, they would definitely want to. I just didn't know exactly how the contract stuff works. But I think if he has 2 void years, then they should be under control if they want to extend him versus trade him or whatever. I don't think he has the ability, much like Brandon Ayuk can't choose to go to another team if he wanted to right now. I don't think if he's under contract, I don't think he can be I demand to go somewhere else,
Yeah, I think they would try to extend him this offseason.
I was thinking for some reason that he was going to be a free agent, and in that case, I was like, maybe they should, go after a cornerback. But right now, it feels like unless those top 3 guys that you mentioned get pushed down to the very bottom, that they won't do that.
Yeah, so first round strategy should be going best player available, depending on who's there. In my opinion, I'm still going O-line. I think the O-line is the best player available, in my opinion. Unless it's a few players. For example, if Kool-Aid McKinstry's there, Adonai Mitchell's
Exactly.
there. Kool McKinstry is the cornerback out of Alabama, which I think he'd be the only one that I could see falling out of the top 3 corners.
I like that
Because of
his
his
name
foot
is
injury.
Kool-Aid.
His name is his freaking number 1 overall pick just off his name. His name's amazing. But just because of like the foot injury that he had, I could see him falling, like teams being scared to take him. But he's phenomenal in press, man. I think he's the cornerback 1 on my board, but I know a lot of
Was
teams don't
he
use
you
him
were
that way.
talking about him with Harp, the JP Harp guy, right? Didn't he say that those foot injuries can end up lingering and like
No,
changing
he was
though?
we were
Or was that
talking
someone
about
else?
the core surgery that
Oh
Kittle
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
Charvarius Ward got.
There we go.
He said he had a
Very,
similar surgery, and after
very true.
that he never bounced back the same. Like he was never the same player ever again. He was like,
Well,
but
I hate
everyone
that.
recovers the same. So he had that in a core injury in college, and after that he's like, I wasn't the same player. I didn't have the burst I did when I was going crazy. Well, he didn't say it, but he didn't have the same burst when he was going
It's
crazy.
also crazy, like, we never know what these players are going through. I don't think either of us knew that. I thought Ward had, like, a groin thing, and he had a foot thing to start the season, but I had no idea that I knew Kittle had a shoulder thing that he's played through for a couple of years, but I didn't know that either of them were gonna need core surgery. I know that Ward ended up posting about it, but then I didn't even hear about Kittle until wasn't it John Lynch that said that they had both gone through that?
Yeah, it's John Lynch is the one who said it, and I know looking at things, the way everything works based off of what um Jay Harp said, like a groin, because his was a groin. He goes, that's considered core. He goes, so I don't know
Oh,
what
okay,
they
okay,
had. He
okay,
goes, like
okay.
at least when he had the surgery, that the specialist considered that groin core. I don't know how that works.
Okay.
I think that's part of your legs. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know that. So I was confused. But he was like, yeah, that's considered the core, like based off of the surgeons and stuff like that. So I thought that was interesting. But round 1 strategy, go best player available. If the Niners truly view, like, I don't want them to reach. If you have a second round grade that's like a 50 round, pick 50 on an offensive lineman, don't reach for him at 31. Like if you have 40 from 30 to 41 on him, that's not a reach in my opinion, because you have to trade all the way back up to come get him. So I think it'd be perfect pick. Um, but it all just depends on, like, they could truly go receiver if Adonai Mitchell's there, and I know Kyle likes him. Kyle's talked about his Texas receivers, talks about him. Um, the only weakness that he has is his run after the catch ability. But he's a
Which is
phenomenal
kind of
receiver.
important for the 49ers, but they have so many guys that excel at that. Maybe they'd be interested in bringing a guy with a different skill set to open up their offense more.
Imagine a 6'3" guy who has 4.34 speed, opposite of Brandon Ayuk.
So
Um,
fast.
he has great feet, great route running. He has
I
the
feel like
the
these wide receivers get faster every single draft.
Oh, absolutely. He's every year they get better and better because of I tend to think is because of 7-on-7. These college receivers, and so corners and receivers are getting better because of 7-on-7. They're going to good program 7-on-7 programs. They're learning how to truly run routes, how to truly recognize, just understand coverages. Like for example, Croc over there, what he's doing with his Elevate program
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
7-on-7. He's going, and they're not just doing anything. Like they're truly running coverages. They're truly running routes. They're being taught how to play man coverage. They're being taught how to play zone. Being taught how to actually attack the blind spots as a receiver. So like they're truly understanding the concepts of the positions. And I think as they get to the next level at college, they're going to these really good schools, and they're going to good coaches, and they're being continue to being taught. So I think that's why we're seeing
They're like
receiver levels just
optimizing their skill
elevate.
set
Yeah,
way
like
more. Yeah.
it's phenomenal to see like the young receivers grow. So I'm excited to continue to see that portion of everything.
Can I ask you before, because I know you
No,
I know you have to take off really quickly, but they did have a rule change with the returners. And I was wondering, do you think like it would be smart for the 49ers to a draft a guy who can more specialize at that position and take over that Ray McLeod role, and maybe turn their special teams, which I feel like under Kyle Shanahan has either been a net negative or neutral, at best. It's never been like a positive, but maybe use the rule change as a way to get a guy back there that specializes in that. Or if they don't draft a guy, would it be smart to now start using Debo Samuel or Jordan Mason, who's a guy we've seen be able to, break tackles and hit and keep running? If they're not going to freaking ever use him at running back, maybe put him back there. Do you think that they'll make changes to the special teams in that way and try to optimize this rule change? Or do you think they're just going to try to minimize risk and not really do much,
I think
not
they
prioritize
should.
that position?
I think they should because it's more like a regular football play now. It's not like a kickoff where high level impact's gonna happen. And we saw this in the XFL when they did it. Shout out to the XFL for giving the NFL
Testing it.
the idea. Pretty much testing it and letting the NFL look at it. So you could put Debo back there because he could break off a long run. I know some people think he could.
It's supposed to be like a safer play now, right? Like I feel like the reason that prior that teams didn't like to put their star, wide receivers back there is because it was a more dangerous play. But supposedly, I don't know. I don't take much into these like morning shows, but I was at a restaurant and I saw like ESPN was on and they were showing all these graphics about how it's supposed to lead to like so many more touchdowns now and returns, and it's supposed to be like 35% more safe than it used to be and all this stuff. So I was like, oh, well, if that's true, are they going to try to utilize that more? But I don't know.
I mean, they should. So like it allows you to, for example, like I saw some people say Debo will return some kicks off of it. Man, Debo has like the breakaway speed and everything, but he doesn't have the endurance to like return a kick that far. Like, and I'm not trying to be a jerk.
I don't know.
I don't have the endurance to run 100 yards either. Like,
they're doing that. They're doing that receiver show. Debo and Kittle both signed up for it, so maybe
I thought
Debo
that's
will be like
dropping.
in way better shape now.
I thought that was dropping coming
Was it
up like
dropping?
soon. Yeah, I thought
Oh.
they
I
followed
thought they
him.
were like filming it right now, but they filmed it prior.
I thought it was filmed this season.
Oh, I thought it was gonna like push them to like train extra hard this offseason.
No, that's why you thought Debo was actually training. You're like, oh, he's training right now. He's obviously on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it drops this coming like in this season because it was recorded for the 2023-2024 season. I don't know when it's supposed to be. It's coming soon.
Okay. Everyone, make sure to get their factual information for Marco. I'm just here for the fun.
The reason why I know that is because I was super excited when I saw it. So my wife actually like it was like, hey, did you see that? I was like, yeah. And she was like, why is Kittle on there? It's like, why like he's a tight end. Like why is he's not a receiver? Like,
I know.
So
I feel like maybe like ball catcher is like a bad name, So they're
pause.
Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I just pass catcher.
They're ball catchers. That's crazy.
But everyone, please make sure to like and subscribe to Clutch Team Sports. Marco, I always have a great time on these Friday shows. I'm glad that we were able to get it done today with all the stuff that was going on. And everyone, make sure to like and subscribe to Marco's channel also because he's working extra hard today. So he deserves some extra subscribers for that. And then make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel.